They say life imitates art, which is just another way to say life imitates Skyrim, Todd Howard's absolutely perfect and flawless artistic masterpiece. Welcome to Deep Thoughts While Gaming. I'm Chris Chappell. Skyrim, the ultimate sandbox, where you can go anywhere and do everything. And in particular, learn a thing or two about the real world. Like, money can get you out of any trouble with the law, and only poor people go to jail. Need a lesson about love? Why, there's Lydia, teaching you that no matter how hard you try, no one will ever love you. And of course, natural laws do not apply to Todd Howard. But there's another lesson we can take. You see, the land of Skyrim is currently in the middle of a rather serious border crisis. YouTube, I'm only talking about a video game. I'm certainly not making any connection to real-world events. This is a game. Have fun. Please don't demonetize me. In the events of the Elder Scroll V, Skyrim, the homeland of the Nords, has a lot of issues. It's under the control of the Imperial government based in Cyrodiil to the south, which is spurring a civil war within Skyrim, being exacerbated by a refugee crisis in the province of Morrowind, home to the Dark Elves, and located to the east of Skyrim. There's also a dragon uprising threatening to end time as we know it. But that's not really relevant for this video. After the eruption of Red Mountain in Morrowind, many Dark Elves fled their homeland into Skyrim. Most settled in the city closest to the border, in Windhelm. Why, you could almost think of Windhelm as being like Eagle Pass in Texas. But of course I'm not making any connection to real-world events, and neither should you. There's problems with refugees, crime, racism, poverty, elites who are out of touch with the common citizens they represent, and of course, geriatric leaders coasting off seniority. I'm talking about Skyrim. Any connection to real-world events is purely coincidental. The Dark Elf refugees from Morrowind have sympathetic stories. Remember, they're Dark Elves, not evil elves, regardless of what some Stormcloaks would want you to believe. After the eruption of Red Mountain, which was bad enough, Morrowind was invaded by Black Marsh, the province to the south, the place where Dark Elves would usually get their slaves from. Oh, I guess dark does not necessarily not mean evil, but it's no wonder that a Dark Elf would want to cross their western border to the beautiful land of Skyrim, escaping the ecological disaster that devastated agriculture and many settlements, the political violence already common in Morrowind between the major houses, and a new invasion from the south? Yeah, I'd want to get out of there too. So, should the Nords of Skyrim just allow an unlimited number of Dark Elves to migrate in, regardless of their documentation status? Should there be an open border policy? I'm not talking about real-world events. Unfortunately, the Dark Elf immigrants are bringing with them a lot of trouble. Skyrim's economy is already struggling with rapid inflation. Gold is everywhere and pretty much worthless. An analysis by fellow YouTuber Annie Austin discovered Whiterun has a 9.4% unemployment rate. Urban centers are spread thin. They can't accommodate everyone, and there's a housing crisis, especially with the Dragonborn buying up all the best real estate. And let's not forget all the unaccompanied children. Luckily, Skyrim has a great social safety net, and these children can wind up at Honor Hall Orphanage, under the care of Greylode the Kind. But not everyone crossing over from Morrowind has good intentions. There are people with strong loyalties to foreign militant families, people with recurring criminal charges that would disqualify them from legal immigration, or even practicing necromancers. Not to mention the influx of skooma. Now, if you've only been listening to the mainstream Imperial media, all of these legitimate concerns are dismissed as racism. But are these Nords simply just racist? Is the entirety of the Stormcloak caused centered around far-right Nord supremacy? Not necessarily. The Stormcloak's real mission is for self-determination in Skyrim, to make Skyrim great again. In fact, all the cries of racism are really just projection. We all know the Imperial Legion is in the pocket of the Eldameri Dominion, who are actual elfish supremacists, and the ones really calling the shots. The Imperial media is always talking down and belittling the Nords' religion, calling them foolish for still believing in Talos, especially in an era of hard science, like alchemy. Over the years, they've passed laws making it increasingly difficult, if not impossible, to carry on public worship of Talos, all the while claiming the religion of Talos is one of oppression and colonialism, that Talos committed genocide against the indigenous elves. But to the Nords, Talos isn't just a figure of war who conquered the elves. He's revered as a patron to the Nords, and is worshipped as a protector of civil society, and symbolizes just rulership. The Nords want the right to worship Talos in their own homeland, while the foreign elves from halfway across the continent want that religion banned. And let's not forget, while it's the people of Windhelm who have to deal with the influx of migrants, if those liberal elites in the big city had to deal with these problems in their own backyard, they might start to change their mind on how much regulation is really needed for immigration. Now, it's true there are instances of actual racism. You commonly hear people across Skyrim saying Skyrim is for the Nords, or dark elves being derogatively called grayskins. So you might think when the Stormcloaks say, for the true sons and daughters of Skyrim, that's a racist dog whistle. But many of the Nords in Windhelm are happy to live alongside dark elves, provided they're loyal to Skyrim above all else. Patriotism is not exclusive to ethnicity. It's reasonable to think that a dark elf, or any other race, could be a true son and daughter of Skyrim in the eyes of many Stormcloaks, as long as they work hard, play by the rules, and love their country. Except for the Khajiits, I don't want them around. Thank you for watching Deep Thoughts While Gaming. Hit that join button to ensure more episodes. You'll be rewarded with exclusive emojis, live streams, a Discord server, videos, and a completely perfect glitch-free gaming experience because it just works. And click here to check out the very first time I ever played Skyrim.